For the very first time on Next Level Mind, welcome to the mind-bending world of Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Every single day, your brain makes thousands of decisions. Some happen instantly, almost automatically. Others require deep focus, logic, and careful thinking. But what if I told you, inside your mind, there are actually two different systems controlling your thoughts? One is fast, emotional, and impulsive. The other is slow, rational, and analytical. In his groundbreaking book, Thinking Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman reveals how these two systems shape the way we think, judge, and make decisions, often without us even realizing it. Why do smart people make irrational choices? Why do we trust the wrong people? Why do emotions overpower logic? And why do we sometimes look back and think, why did I do that? In today's episode, we're diving deep into the hidden psychology of the human mind, exploring cognitive biases, mental shortcuts, overconfidence, emotional thinking, and the invisible traps that control our decisions every day.
This isn't just a book summary. This is a journey into how your brain really works. In this video, you'll discover the difference between System 1 and System 2 thinking, why your brain prefers shortcuts over logic, how cognitive biases secretly manipulate your decisions, why humans are terrible at predicting the future, the psychology behind overconfidence and poor judgment, how marketers, media, and even your own emotions influence your thinking, and how to make smarter, more rational decisions in life. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional, reactive. It helps you recognize faces, avoid danger, and make split-second decisions. But it also creates stereotypes, assumptions, and impulsive mistakes. System 2 is slow, logical, effortful, analytical. It activates when solving difficult problems, analyzing information, or making important life decisions. But here's the problem. System 2 is lazy. Most of the time, your brain chooses the easy path, relying on instincts instead of careful reasoning. And that's exactly where biases, illusions, and irrational decisions begin. You'll learn fascinating concepts like availability heuristic, anchoring effect, framing bias, overconfidence bias, narrative fallacy, prospect theory, the illusion of understanding, the law of small numbers. These psychological concepts explain why humans often believe they're rational while constantly making irrational decisions. Imagine this. A product says 95% fat-free. Sounds healthy, right? But what if it simply said contains 5% fat? Same information, different reaction. That's how your mind can be manipulated. This audiobook summary will completely change the way you think about thinking itself.
By the end of this video, you'll start noticing the invisible mental patterns controlling your everyday life, from money decisions to relationships, career choices, social media influence, and even politics. So if you want to think smarter, avoid mental traps, and understand the psychology behind human behavior, then this video is for you. Put on your headphones, focus your mind, and prepare to unlock the hidden operating system of your brain. Welcome to Next Level Mind. Because thinking fast may help you survive, but thinking slowly helps you make better decisions. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The two systems inside your mind. Your brain operates through two different systems. One works fast, the other works slow. System 1 is automatic. It reacts instantly without conscious effort. It helps you recognize faces, read emotions, react to danger, make quick decisions. When someone suddenly slams on the brakes in front of you while driving, that instant reaction comes from System 1. Fast, emotional, instinctive. But there's a hidden danger. System 1 loves shortcuts. It judges people based on appearance. It creates stereotypes. It jumps to conclusions before checking facts. That's why we often trust confidence more than competence, why attractive people seem more believable, and why first impressions can completely fool us. Now meet the second system. System 2. Slow, logical, analytical. This is the part of your mind that activates when you solve difficult problems, analyze information, or make important life decisions. For example, what's 2 plus 2? Your brain answers instantly. But what's 17 times 24? Now your mind slows down. You focus. You calculate. That's System 2 at work. The problem is, System 2 requires effort, and the human brain naturally tries to save energy. So most of the time, we allow System 1 to take control, even when the situation actually requires deeper thinking. That's where mistakes begin. We trust emotional reactions. We believe incomplete information. We make decisions too quickly. And later, we regret them. Daniel Kahneman explains that understanding these two systems is one of the most important keys to better decision-making, because your life is shaped by the quality of your thinking. The better you understand your mind, the better you understand yourself. And this is only the beginning. Chapter 2. Why your brain chooses the easy path. Here's something shocking. Your brain is lazy. Not physically lazy, mentally lazy. According to Daniel Kahneman, System 2, the logical thinking system, avoids hard work whenever possible. Why? Because deep thinking consumes energy. Your brain constantly looks for shortcuts to save mental effort. And because of that, we often rely on fast emotional thinking instead of careful analysis. This creates something called cognitive biases, mental errors that secretly distort our judgment. One of the most powerful examples is called the availability heuristic. Your brain believes information that is easy to remember. For example, if the news constantly shows airplane crashes, people begin to believe flying is extremely dangerous. But statistically, driving is far more dangerous than flying. The mind confuses easy to remember with more likely to happen. Another powerful bias is the anchoring effect. The first number or piece of information you see becomes an invisible anchor in your mind. Imagine a jacket is priced at $1,000, then suddenly discounted to $499. Your brain screams, "Wow, that's a huge deal." But maybe the jacket was only worth $300 in the first place. The anchor manipulated your perception. And marketers know this extremely well. Another dangerous bias is called the framing effect. The way information is presented changes how we feel about it. Imagine a doctor says, Chapter 3. The dangerous illusion of confidence. Human beings love certainty. We want to believe we understand the world. We want to feel intelligent. We want to think our predictions are accurate. But according to Daniel Kahneman, most people are far more confident than they should be. This is called overconfidence bias. People consistently overestimate their intelligence, their knowledge, their predictions, and their decision-making ability. Investors believe they can predict the stock market. Students believe they're fully prepared for exams. Entrepreneurs believe their businesses will succeed. But reality often proves otherwise. One of the most dangerous psychological traps is something Kahneman calls the illusion of understanding. Human beings naturally create stories to explain the world, even when the truth is random, uncertain, or incomplete. For example, When a billionaire becomes successful, people create a perfect story explaining their success. Vision, discipline, leadership. But they often ignore luck, timing, opportunity, and randomness. The human brain hates uncertainty, so it creates simple narratives to make the world feel predictable. But reality is much more chaotic than we imagine. Kahneman also explains something terrifying. After events happen, people believe they knew it all along. This is called hindsight bias. After a market crash, people say, "It was obvious." After a failed business, people say, "The warning signs were clear." But before the event happened, almost nobody actually predicted it accurately. Your brain rewrites history to protect your ego, and that creates false confidence. The lesson? True intelligence begins with humility. The smartest people are not the ones who always feel smart.
Your mind is powerful, but it can also deceive you. Every day, invisible biases shape your decisions, emotions, and beliefs without you even noticing. And that's why understanding how you think is more important than what you think. Daniel Kahneman showed us that true intelligence is not about thinking faster. It's about knowing when to slow down. If this video changed the way you see your own mind, make sure to subscribe to Next Level Mind for more powerful psychology, philosophy, and self-improvement content. Comment below, which system controls you more, System 1 or System 2? Like the video if you learned something new. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next journey into the human mind. Until next time, think deeper, question everything, and never stop upgrading your mind. This is Next Level Mind. See you in the next video.